everybody. This is a Scrap Our Stash challenge. It's a blog. This is the March sketch that I am attempting to work with. And you'll see that I'm going to start here with a Heidi Swapp stencil and some Lumiere green paint. And I'm going to put that paint through the stencil. And I've sped this up really fast so that you don't have to watch paint dry. But I'm just kind of going randomly. I'm starting to work on learning how to do some mixed media with my layouts. So that Lumiere paint is wonderful if you haven't used it before. The paper stack that I used for this was the Magnolia Way paper stack, as you can see, and the sketch calls for a large banner, so I'm creating the banner here. And initially I start with I only use that one piece from that paper stack and then cardstock for the rest. I'm not a heavy pattern paper user, but I do like pattern paper. It's just I don't always use a lot. I decided to cut my photo down to 4x4 because there was some wasted space, and on an 8.5 by 11 layout you really can't have any wasted space. They're pretty small. So I'm just checking to see if I can take a little more off, and I do. And I like that because it allows for more of the background to show. So then I'm thinking about my layout again and what I want to do. And I decide I want to add some embossing. First, I obviously am applying this background to the larger cardstock border, and I almost always do that with my layouts. And then I am rubbing Versamark around the edges of it, and I am sprinkling gold embossing powder just sort of randomly to make it almost like it's distressed around the edges with gold embossing powder. And I won't entertain you with a long heater session. I'm just finishing up the heating of that particular embossing powder at this point. And then I think, I think I need some more. So I bring out this honeycomb stamp from Bo Bunny, and I stamp it in 3 places in the Versamark, and then of course add the embossing powder. And I skipped the heating session for that one for you. I'm mounting my picture on a piece of gold shimmery cardstock that I got in the clearance section at the local Office Max, I believe. It was like $2 for a stack of 25, and I'm not even halfway through that stack. It's really beautiful, and it is acid free, so that's kind of nifty. I'm again making my banner smaller because I want it to not overtake this small layout. And I'm thinking about layering some cardstock behind my picture just to give it a little more presence. I decided to use the black and the cream there. So, and then I mount it, and then I realize, hey, if I do this, I'll have room for journaling at the bottom, so I liked it. I like that offset. What you see there is a border that I cut out on my silhouette. It actually has clovers on it because this is, of course, a St. Patrick's Day layout. And this is an old glitter marker from my stash, which basically ran out when I was using it, so I threw it away after that, and I don't know. It's really old, maybe 5 or 6 years old. Putting my lines, doing my journaling, that just basically says that my kids were super excited today to wear their green and participate in the holiday. And I had snapped this shot this morning before they went to school. The title piece I also cut out on my silhouette, and you'll see later that I have two larger clovers that I cut out of my silhouette. I didn't want this to scream St. Patrick's Day, but I definitely wanted it to be themey enough that it was clear. So I'm still adjusting and deciding, is this how I want it? And I decided to go ahead and apply the title, or part of the title anyway. and that is green cardstock layered on a background sort of gold. I did that all before I started the layout, created my silhouette pieces. I used one of those, oh, I don't remember what they're called, like puncher things with a puncher strip. So that says displaying our green. And I'm working on the banner piece that's up in the top corner. I'm sorry it's a little off screen, unfortunately. Just used a chunk of that pattern paper. And then I decide I'm going to put the floral piece that's in the sketch, and I punch out 5 of these little leaf things to be the foundation of it with my Martha Stewart punch. And that was in the pattern paper. And then I get the gold paper, the gold shimmer paper, and I punch out 5 petal flowers. I think they're 1-inch flowers. That's an EK Success punch. And I'm just layering the flowers on, and I'm gluing them down. Or I'm planning it there, and then I'm going to start gluing. I took my time with the gluing here, and I just wanted it to have that kind of, well, just kind of like the sketch, just kind of cascading out of that corner. And I like that underneath of those flowers was that honeycomb stamp. It kind of added something to the background there, I think. I'm really enjoying the mixed media processes with my layouts. I'm certainly not going crazy with the mixed media, but I like a little touch of that. And now I'm just gluing down all of these 5 little gold flowers. The prompt gave you the layout sketch, and then it said make sure to use gold. So I used a lot of gold on this layout, and I like it, and I like that it's a St. Patrick's Day layout, because of course we're going for the gold, right? St. Patrick's Day is all about the leprechauns looking for the gold, so I like that that's paying homage to that. Those are some enamel dots that I got from Recollections at Halloween, and I'm using the black ones, and I'll use some of the gold ones as well. I love that it had the gold enamel dots, and I don't have a lot of enamel dots, but I love that it had that when I bought those. So I'm using the little black ones as the flower centers. And then I take a really big gold one and put it in the middle of the clover that I put there. And I'm just considering where to put some more, and I decide to put some on the G. I put a big one and 3 little ones of the gold. And positioning those was kind of finicky work, but I did it. And I don't know how much I like them on there, but they're there, and I don't sweat the small stuffs too much. I finish the layout and I move on with my life. That's what kind of scrapper I am. I kind of think they should have been more towards the outer edge rather than the inner edge, but I don't know. You can tell me what you think. And then I put, of course, 1 big gold enamel dot in that one, and I'm done with the enamel dots. And now I bring out some Baker's Twine, and it's in a light limey green and white. I think I got that from the dollar store. And I'm just gluing it in a spiral over that little corner banner. And then I made a little bow. See, I'm trying to decide where I'm going to put that. I made a little bow out of the same stuff, of the same Baker's Twine. I'm using my fray check on the edges of that so that it won't fray out. And then I'm just going to glue it in that corner. Little bow, and then add my clover and that'll be the end. It'll be done. Alright, and so that is my St. Patrick's Day layout, full of lots of shine and shimmer and some cute kids. Have a nice night.